back to the Unleashed. I'm your host, Jared Bueller. I've recently seen that the lotto is around 1.6 billion right now, and this doesn't surprise me at all. It's exactly what I'd expect in a rapture window that we're in right now that looks like this is the time for it to take place. They're shooting out distractions in every single direction, and to have this build up to the biggest win ever, Mega Millions, is now in the billions, to keep people paying attention to the world, looking for money and riches and things like that, and they're taking their mind off of what they should be looking at, that Jesus is about to come back. And this doesn't surprise me, and it's exactly what I'm expecting. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think it was last year around this time or whatever, that guy got busted that worked for the lotto and everything, and it's something that I always was very suspicious of, and I assumed, but this is the first time when they gave it away, I think on accident. And the guy that worked for lotto had he put some algorithms in, on a certain day in May, I think in August, and then in October, the numbers inside the algorithm that picked the numbers right there, right? And it came on Fox News, and they were discussing this, and this is when they gave it away, because they make it out like it's those balls that are picking the numbers, right? And they came on and they're like, yeah, he had placed inside the algorithm the number scheme to drop down to within a 100 and use a certain number as the Powerball or whatever. So he would send somebody in, his lawyer or whatever, and he would play like $100 worth of picks using that certain number, and then he would win. And he did it a couple times before they caught him. But what they did was they gave away that the whole thing's in an algorithm system. So every time there's quick picks and numbers, it already goes into a computer, and at their headquarters they can find which ones and bypass it and choose when they want it to win, or if they have somebody that they want to win, they say, hey, pick these numbers and we'll run them for you, and then you can win it. And the whole thing's been a scheme the whole time, so it's a complete joke. But it doesn't surprise me that they're pushing it now up this high, because I mean it's getting people's mind. People are playing it like crazy and stuff like that. And of course I don't have anything to do with it. But them making the lotto go up into the billions right now, like you say, it's just like, wow, of course. One more thing right before it looks like we're about to be in World War III, distractions and the rapture. They got the lotto numbers going through the roof, and the money, it's in the billions, and of course they're thinking,
just reuse it.
Don't be too proud of this technological lotto you've created. The ability to win money is insignificant next to the joy of the rapture.
But it doesn't matter for us, they're looking for the rapture. The blessed hope is just, we will look at trillions, knowing who you're worth and the family that you're in, and it's like chump change is an understatement. It's just ridiculous. Money means nothing when streets are made of gold, and you can decorate things with limitless gold, and the stuff that God can just make, universe, he can make planets of it if he wants to. It's nothing, so it really is kind of it's silly. But I got a comment just a second ago, and somebody was talking about how her and her husband were in the New Age movement there about 5 years ago, whatever, before God pulled them out, and I'm grateful for that. That's awesome. And they were able to see a UFO that was just absolutely massive in size, and they say, there's a panic, there's kind of a fear that comes with it, and you can imagine, because your mind can't wrap around seeing something like that big. And I've heard, it's not the first time I've heard stories, like that, and I've seen them plenty of times. I've seen them around me. I've seen them watch me on occasions. It's very interesting. They seem to know who I am. They have a conscience. They know who's a Christian and who's not, and they'll keep a distance. And it's very interesting. I've been able to sense them in a way, and it's kind of strange. The thing is, though, is this one guy that I used to work with, him and another guy were up in Salmon, and one night they heard a humming or whatever, and they were looking up at the moon. It was like a full moon, and one came down between the draw of the mountain and it over the town, and they said the thing was huge. It blocked out the moon. It was like the size of an aircraft carrier, maybe bigger. It was huge. I've seen pictures of ones out in Saturn's ring things that are like 60 miles wide, and there's been some that have been reported to be around the sun, like planet size, you know. So when they do show up for this deception, and it's going to be grand, trust me, they've been working on it for the last 5,000 years or whatever, to deceive people, you know, that there's other worlds out there. We're just part of this galactic empire nonsense, and to be welcomed aboard into it for this consciousness, and they put Jesus here and all this other nonsense, right? When it happens, it's gonna freak a lot of people out, and of course, there's people out there, and I've seen it all. I mean, there's Christians out there that deny dinosaur bones, say that they're planted by the government, they're not real, and there's hundreds of thousands of figurines before we ever even got here that they've found. There are ancient ones where people are riding on them and stuff like that, pre-flood stuff, when dinosaurs were with man, and I mean, there's. And then there's the people like they deny that there's any UFOs at all. So when they see them, the second they do, boom, the Bible's not real. The Bible's not real. And it's like, no, if you would have got the information ahead of time, you would have known exactly what this is. This is the grand deception. But they don't teach you this in church. There's so many different ends where people will deny it to make the Bible work or to make the Bible fit. And you know, when I asked for knowledge when I was 21. I already knew about UFOs and stuff like that. I had dealt with them already, and but I wanted to know how it fit, and I already knew with the gift of discernment and stuff like that that I had from looking at people and astronauts and things like that. They were telling the truth, but I also knew that the Bible only went back 6,000 years. So the question was to God, when I asked him, I was like, you know, humbly I'm asking you this, but I know it's real, all of it. What I want to know is how the whole thing fits together in a puzzle piece, you know. And of course, that's now years later what I've been bringing to the table and showing you guys that it all does fit. It all fits together perfectly. And all your stories from Greek gods, aliens, and everything else fit within that. So I'm not pulling it out of anywhere. It is all part of the end-time deception and what's been going on the whole time. And these beings will take the form of whatever period in history, whether they need to be Greek gods or aliens from other planets in this time, that they need to deceive people. And it really is all, it's demonic deception through the roof. But just a few words that I want to get out real fast and tell you guys, you know, keep looking up because it looks like it's close, and don't be distracted by anything, lotto or anything else that might come your way. If something seems like it's too good to be true, maybe you found the love of your life and they just came out of nowhere just recently, but you know that person's not a Christian and they're going to pull you away. It's a trap. It's a trap. Don't go for it, okay? Because the distractions are through the roof, and the devil is looking around for anybody that he can pull out, and that's why the attacks are coming on so strong, and that is why there's so many out there. The religious, they're just attacking the rapture with everything they can know. They don't want it to end, you know, and then they're going after it for whatever way they can. If they can somehow justify it in their mind that it's not real and get a few following it, that's going to change the whole thing, like they have power over it or something. It's ridiculous. But I just wanted to get this little short word out for you guys today, and hang in there, all right, and keep looking up. Don't be distracted, and God bless. I'll catch you next time on the Unleashing. Bye.